We live in a world where we are constantly connected to devices, but deeply disconnected from ourselves. We know when our phone battery is low, but we don't notice when our inner strength is drained. Today's topic is not about religion. It is about relationship, a conscious, living relationship with God. Conscious contact with God begins with awareness. Most people live on autopilot, reacting to life rather than observing it. Days pass in habits, routines, and responsibilities, yet very little attention is given to the inner state from which all actions arise. Awareness is the moment when a person notices their thoughts, pauses before reacting, and realizes that life is not just happening randomly. That pause is powerful. It creates space between impulse and action. In that space, clarity appears. Conscious contact is not loud or dramatic. It is subtle and quiet. It starts when one becomes aware that every choice carries meaning. Many people say they believe in God, but belief alone does not shape life. Relationship does. A relationship changes behavior, priorities, and decisions. When someone lives with conscious contact, they do not merely acknowledge God intellectually, they live as if presence matters. This awareness influences how they speak, how they treat others, and how they handle power, anger, success, and failure. Life becomes less about proving something and more about aligning with something deeper. There is an inner voice that guides people toward what feels right and pulls them away from what feels wrong. Often it is ignored because it is gentle, while desire and fear are loud. Yet that quiet guidance is where conscious contact begins to grow. When someone listens to that voice consistently, it becomes clearer. When ignored repeatedly, it becomes faint. Life then feels confusing, even though the answers were always present. Stillness plays a crucial role in strengthening awareness. Constant noise, movement, and distraction keep the mind busy but disconnected. In stillness, thoughts slow down and patterns become visible. People begin to notice what truly matters and what merely demands attention. Stillness is not inactivity, it is presence. In that presence, a person feels grounded, balanced, and aligned. It becomes easier to sense guidance rather than chase validation. Intention shapes the meaning of every action. Two people can perform the same act, yet one feels fulfilled while the other feels empty. The difference lies in intention. When actions are driven by ego, fear, or approval, they drain energy. When driven by sincerity and awareness of God, they strengthen inner peace. Conscious contact transforms ordinary actions into meaningful ones, not by changing what is done, but by changing why it is done. Living with awareness creates responsibility, not fear. Fear arises when God is seen as distant or punitive. Responsibility arises when God is understood as present and purposeful. A responsible person does not act correctly because they are watched, but because they are aware. This awareness matures the heart. It shifts behavior from avoidance of punishment to alignment with values. Life often slows people down through obstacles, delays, or unexpected changes. These moments are frequently resisted, yet they carry instruction. When progress stops, reflection begins. When plans fail, priorities are questioned. Conscious contact allows a person to see delays not as rejection, but as redirection. Growth often occurs in moments where control is removed. Gratitude changes perception. It does not deny difficulty, but it reframes experience. A grateful mind notices what remains rather than what is missing. This awareness strengthens resilience. When gratitude becomes a habit, dissatisfaction weakens. Life feels fuller not because circumstances improve, but because attention shifts. Integrity is revealed in private moments. Public behavior can be managed. Private choices reflect true alignment. Conscious contact sharpens awareness in moments where no recognition exists. A person begins to ask not whether they will be caught, but whether the action aligns with who they want to become. Over time, this builds inner strength and self-respect. Mistakes are part of growth, not evidence of disconnection. Failure often humbles the ego and reopens awareness. When pride falls, sincerity rises. Conscious contact does not eliminate mistakes, it transforms how one responds to them. Instead of denial or self-hate, reflection emerges. Learning replaces shame. Ego is one of the greatest barriers to awareness. It demands control, praise, and certainty. Conscious contact softens ego, replacing it with humility. Humility is not weakness, it is openness. An open mind learns, an open heart connects. When ego loosens its grip, clarity increases. Trust plays a vital role in alignment. Trust does not mean inaction or passivity. It means effort without obsession over outcomes. A person acts sincerely, then releases control over results. This creates peace. Anxiety decreases when outcomes are no longer treated as proof of worth. Pain often becomes a teacher when comfort fails. Difficult experiences force attention inward. They reveal attachments, expectations, and illusions. Conscious contact allows pain to refine rather than harden the heart. Lessons emerge when resistance fades. Simplicity strengthens awareness. Complexity overwhelms the mind. When life is overloaded with unnecessary commitments, clarity weakens. Simplifying priorities creates space for reflection. In simplicity, connection deepens naturally. Time reveals what truly matters. What consistently receives attention shapes identity. Conscious contact encourages intentional use of time. Distractions lose power when purpose becomes clear. Awareness is not limited to quiet moments. It exists in conversation, work, conflict, and decision making. Conscious contact integrates spirituality into ordinary life. There is no separation between inner values and outer behavior. Patience is active strength. It is calm endurance guided by awareness. Impatience arises from ego. Patience arises from trust. When patience grows, emotional stability strengthens. Awareness of mortality brings clarity, not fear. Recognizing life's temporary nature sharpens focus. Petty concerns lose importance. Meaningful actions gain urgency. Living without constant need for approval becomes possible when connection deepens. Validation shifts from external praise to internal alignment. Confidence grows quietly. A life aligned with God is not perfect or painless. It is sincere, aware, and purposeful. Such a life feels grounded, even amid uncertainty. Connection is not something achieved once. It is practiced daily through awareness, intention, and presence. Conscious contact with God is not something to search for far away. It is already close, waiting to be noticed. It appears in moments of honesty, in pauses before reaction, in choices made quietly and sincerely. Life does not become easier when awareness grows, but it becomes clearer. Clarity brings calm, and calm brings strength. When awareness is present, even uncertainty has direction, even silence has meaning. The need to control everything softens, and trust takes its place. A person begins to live with alignment rather than anxiety, with purpose rather than pressure. This connection does not demand perfection, isolation, or withdrawal from the world. It asks only for presence, presence in thought, presence in action, presence in intention. When life is lived with this awareness, actions feel lighter, decisions feel grounded, and the heart feels steady. Not because everything is understood, but because nothing feels random. And slowly, without force or display, life begins to reflect something deeper, a quiet alignment with God that guides each step forward.